You're in your living room, and there's a massive cardboard box in front of you. It's not heavy, but it's personal. You slice it open, and inside is a blur of oddly shaped objects, screws rolling away, and an Allen wrench so tiny it seems as if it was designed to personally mock you. You build and build and build, and hours pass away, and once it's finally done, you take a step back and look at it as if you've created life itself. Yet, one shelf leans, a screw is forever missing, and when your friend comes over to your house and points at that bookshelf and says, "That's unique," you beam with pride and say, "Yeah, I built that myself." Now, why does this happen? Because researchers discovered something called the IKEA Effect. That is when you build or invest effort into something, you overvalue it. Instead of falling in love with the thing itself, you fall in love with the sweat, the tears, the frustration, and the muttered curse words that went into making it. In fact, in a combined study conducted by researchers at Harvard, Yale, and Duke in 2011, found that people were willing to pay up to 63% more for furniture they assembled themselves compared to identical pre-assembled version. So basically, in your mind, that bookshelf you made was an artwork by Pablo Picasso. Now, that's all very funny when it's about furniture, but what happens when we start applying the same concept, not to bookshelves and nightstands, but to people? So tonight, I'm going to walk you through 3 imaginary rooms in this IKEA store of life. First, we're going to go to the workshop, where we try to fix people. Second, we'll head into the showroom, where we will only value what we've built. And then finally, we'll head towards our exit and decide if people are furniture. The workshop. This is where you're going to gather all your parts, your tools, the instruction manuals, everything that makes perfect sense for building that bookshelf. But for people, this doesn't make a lot of sense. Yeah, listen to the things we a lot of times say when we're getting into a new relationship. "Oh, I can change him," or "She just needs me to fix her." Or my most favorite one, "We'd be perfect if only they would." That's the IKEA effect gone rogue. Instead of appreciating people as a whole, we start treating them like little mini projects. So let's take relationships. In a 2017 study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, researchers found that partners who tried to improve their significant other's habits actually ended up building more resentment. Because nobody wants to feel like a table missing a leg. And this doesn't just happen in relationships. You can find it in classrooms too. In a 2020 study of 2,000 college students, they found that over 58% of students reported feeling undervalued during group projects. And that's because people were trying to fix or replace parts. I know we've all been in a group where someone decided to take the lead and come through and clean everything and make it a lot better. But it usually ends up with making someone feel undervalued. And parents, I know many of them are in the audience, they often fall into the same trap too. Wanting the best for their kids, they push them into certain careers, into certain majors. And it all comes from a place of love, but it also tells their children that you're not perfect until I build you into who I want you to be. In fact, in a recent Gallup poll, they found that over 61% of teens reported feeling pressured by their parents to pursue a certain career or major they didn't choose for themselves. And of course, this pressure is also always for your own good, which is coincidentally what villains in every superhero movie also say, but I'm not going to get into that. And that's the IKEA effect. Love tangled with ownership. All right, now let's head into the showroom. This is my personal favorite because everything here is picture perfect. The tidy kitchens, the flawless couches, and the model bedrooms that are to die for. I know many times I've walked in and wished, oh my God, I wish that was my bedroom. But then I also realized I like the pink curtains I chose and the little paintings I've made and my Walmart bookshelves that I put in. And sometimes that's a little bit of the problem, because we only value what we've built. So in a Harvard study, again, conducted on business environments, found that managers consistently rate employees higher when they mentor them themselves, even when other employees are performing at an equally well level. And this isn't just bias, it's the IKEA effect in action again. You'll see that employees, over 70% of them, report feeling micromanaged by their managers. And in fact, this also ends up hurting their confidence and lowering their self-esteem. 31% of teams actually perform at a much better level when they're left to work by themselves. And this is the IKEA effect dressed up in business casual, because nobody wants their manager to be hovering over every screw, every little piece of instruction. And the manager is only here trying to build a perfect product, but nobody likes that same level of involvement. Now, this doesn't only happen in workplaces. If you're a sports player, you'll notice this happening in teams too. In fact, NCAA basketball coaches personally overwhelmingly support players that they have mentored themselves compared to other players who perform at equally well levels. You'll see that 60% of them have openly admitted to this fact, gushing about the players that they built up from scratch. Instead of realizing that sometimes, while you may have put in the effort into making someone perfect, the person also put in effort themselves, and their excellence is part of their own results. Let's also take friendships, for example. I'm sure we all have this one friend we've had since kindergarten, or at least for way too many years, but you only call them on New Year's Eve, maybe you give them a phone call on Christmas, and there's one text message. It's like a dragging relationship. You keep it around because you've invested too much to let go. It's like that gym membership that you also pay for every single year and only go for the month of January and never come back. The same concept applied here. I know this is all getting a little scary where we're seeing all this crazy stuff going on with the IKEA effect. So I'm going to head you towards our exit. Your stomach is full with the Swedish meatballs. You have shopping bags in your hand. You bought a potted fake plant, shower caddy, and 3 lamps that you don't know what you're going to do with. But hopefully you're walking away with a realization too. People are not furniture. Unlike IKEA furniture, we are not disposable. You can't throw us out to the curb. You can't just replace anyone. It's not all that simple. So the question, of course, comes, what do we do? How do we address this problem? So I'm going to give you 3 simple steps. First, you want to be aware of the workshop. The next time you catch yourself saying, oh, I can change them, I can fix them, take a pause, step back, stop. Think about it. Would you want to be in that position of getting fixed? Second, avoid the showroom bias. Instead of trying to make that perfect person into a perfect vision that you have, treat them as they're already there. And understand that the effort that they have put in is a part of their own work. And finally, redefine building. Like I just said, instead of trying to make them this perfect vision you have, let them become the perfect vision they have for themselves. IKEA furniture will wobble. You know that bookshelf you made earlier that you were really proud of? We all know it's getting thrown out one day to the curb. But you can't do the same thing with people. Because unlike IKEA furniture, humans were never meant to come with instructions or replacement parts. Thank you.